Jamie Foxx played the blind man in the movie called. So we got Trump in office, but I was never caught off guard. I was never surprised because I knew Hillary was money hungry from the beginning. Think about it. Just ask her husband. She's all about the bills. Okay. Now, when it comes to what Donald Trump was charged with, I did disagree. They kept saying impeachment, impeachment, and they kept saying impeach. Donald Trump never said he ate fruit. Okay. Now, I don't know what religion to pick. Think about it. Catholic guy comes to me, he says, Jay, I want you to come to my church, it's called St. Louis. You know I went all the way to Missouri for nothing? Now, and then there was another church, it was like, say Jay, come to Mass. You know how much traffic it is going to Springfield and Boston? And then, did any of you ever watch the ladies in the Catholic church? Well, anyway, it was four in the corner, I went to their service. And the guy said, Jay, which one would you like? I said, none. Okay, now, and then what happened was, I told one dude, I said, yo, I cheated on one of the girls. He said, you want to tell her? I said, you want me to confess? Okay, now, and then, one thing about the Islamic faith I really support. The Islamic faith, if you think about it, is very financial thinking from the beginning. Think about it. Wasn't Muhammad's parents trying to make a profit? Okay, now, I was in this thing, right? It was called the AME. I know what it was. It was some AME, and it was going through stuff like the way they were serving. I was like, what method this? Okay, now, and then, I went to 3 Baptist churches, and I still haven't met John. Now, and then the last thing I want to say with this was, 2015, I went to Apostle Apostolic Church, and they said, hello, sir, you know, how you doing? This is the First Lady. They caught me laughing. I said, oh, you the First Lady? She said, yeah, for pastor's wife. I said to myself, I always thought 2015, the First Lady was Michelle, you know. That's what I was thinking. Now, and then about 3 weeks ago, they was like, this is the First Lady. I said to myself, I thought the First Lady was Eve. Okay, and then I was hanging out with some biblical people, like biblical scholars, but they threw me off, because me and Joe, you know, remember Joe, we was playing basketball, and he sprung his ankle, and I said, Joe, let's go to the hospital. He said, no. I said, Joe, but I was saying you're supposed to give me an patience. Okay, and then dig this. And then Apostle Paul, he's playing weird. He's playing Wheel of Fortune, and he's trying to spell the word. I said, Apostle Paul, don't ask me for no. I said, why? I said, man, you done wrote this 7 churches. How many more letters do you possibly need? And then it goes even further. So then Job comes again. He said, Jay, let's go down to Malik with some, man. I want to play real blast. I said, Joe, you got a reputation for losing everything, man. I don't know if I'm gonna go with you. And then I was with Peter. And then me and Peter, some guys started fighting, so I said, let's run. So there was a pond, he said, Jay, come over here. I said, Peter, I ain't going there. So I said, Peter, you have trouble, man, when you walk on water. and now it even goes farther. Here I am with the Apostle Paul. We're on our way to the dance. We don't know which way to go. So he says, turn to the right, that's the Damascus road. I said, Paul, man, you plan on converting? So, and then one thing, have any of you ever heard of the Apostle Thomas? Does that ring a bell? Are you familiar with that? With Thomas? Anybody heard of Thomas? Well, anything with Thomas was, I'll just tell you a story real quick. Thomas approaches me. He said, Jay, you got a girl over there? I said, yeah. I said, Thomas, give her a hug. What are you talking about? Give her a hug. He said, why? I said, Thomas, you know to feel on hands, man. So anyway, so now dig this. He said, so then the woman came over to me. Thomas was looking. She said like this. He said, Jay, you think I got it? I said, Thomas, doubt it. Now, and then as I conclude, Jesus' mother comes to me. She says, her and Jesus have the same birthday. That was, you know, they had the same birthday. I said, well, why do you think that? That's where she said, well, on December 25th, they do say Merry Christmas. Right? And then Eve, and not Eve, and then Adam's wife approached me. She says, her birthday December 31st. I said, why do you say that? It's December 31st. Why do you say that? They said, because it's New Year's Eve. Thank you.
Oh Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displays. Then sings my song, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my song, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And when I think that God His Son not sparing sent Him to die, I scarce can take it in, that on the cross my burden gladly bearing, He bled and died to take away my sin. Then sings my song, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my song, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When Christ shall come with shout of acclamation and take me home, what joy shall fill my heart. Then I'm gonna bow in humble adoration and then proclaim, my God, how great thou art. Then sings my song, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art.
do they call me? My name is Aunt Sarah. My name is Aunt Sarah. Aunt Sarah. My skin is yellow. My hair is long. Between two worlds, I do belong. My father was rich and white. He forced my mother late one night. What do they call me? My name is Saffronia. My name is Saffronia. My skin is tan. My hair is fine. My hips invite you. My mouth like wine. Whose little girl am I? Anyone who has money to buy. What do they call me? My name is Sweet Thing. My name is Sweet Thing. My skin is brown. My manner is tough. I'll kill the first mother I see. My life has been rough. I'm awfully bitter these days. Cause my parents were slaves. What do they call me? My name is Peaches.
Like I'm not supposed to live. You know, a lot of us have, and everybody, you know, changed for the better. For our family, I got a son now, so I'm trying to be a great role model for him. And you know what I'm saying, just empower other black fathers, Spanish fathers, you know. And I made this beat too. Railroad, we walk down those railroads, we escape down railroads, we walk down those railroads, we escape down them. Who understand a life many is living in this dimension? To me, I didn't learn nothing from but weapons, whether we see behind bars, a great cross, some bullet scars, people don't know who we are. Times is hard on the boulevard. Preachers preach, we did in Bible study, lesson teach. A lot to me, but we still pour up in the streets. And while some of our friends get buried 6 feet, trick knowledge is not a treat. Every day gets deep, the road with a cage around it. Crimes got us surrounded, while we down it, they don't see what we see. And courthouses, why they don't shed tears, we've been through so much pain without dying. We dying and multiplying while Donald Trump lying. Yeah. Okay. Railroads, we walk down those railroads. Yeah, we escape down railroads, railroads, railroads. We walk down railroads, railroads. We escape down railroads. And that's it, everybody.
Just remember the better days are coming. Ooh, friends will leave you all by yourself. But don't you cry, 'cause better days are coming. Ooh, better days, better days are coming. Oh, better days, days are coming.
Wake up. The gods have dialed. Find that each trill is a sharp resonance unwavering. Universal seismic waves maneuver each atom with impossible grace to find your heart beating. Who could be calling? When for countless nights now, you've spoken an inverted tongue, entranced by stars not your own. A trembling hand, your mouth to the phone. A voice does not come, but the silence you know says, "It's amazing, dear. You found comfort in a foreign home." Thank you.
As I lay me down, heaven hear me now. I'm lost without a cause, after giving it my all. Winter storms have come and darkened my sun. After all that I've been through, who on earth can I turn to? I look to you. I look to you. After all my strength is gone, in you I can be strong. I look to searching for that open door. Every road that I have taken led to my regret, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Nothing to do but lift my head. I look to you. I look to you. Yeah. After all my strength is gone, in you I can be strong. I look to you. I look to you. Yeah. And when melodies are gone, and you I hear a song, I look to you. My walls have come tumbling down on me. The rain is falling, defeat is calling. I need you to set me free. Take me far away from the battle. I need you to shine on me. I look to you. I look to you. After all my strength is gone, in you I can be strong. I look to you. I look to you. Yeah. And when melodies are gone, in you I hear a song. I look to you. I look to you. I look to you.
Good evening. My name is Autumn White, and I'm a member of Kingdom Love Center Church, and I'm also a senior at Holy Cathedral High School. I am an aspiring artist, and I'll be presenting some of my pieces tonight. And I would like to talk to you a little bit about who I want to represent. So, before there was President Obama, Maya Angelou, Dr. King, Rosa Parks, there was a woman called Moses, Harriet Tubman. Harriet fearlessly paved the way for her freedom and was bold enough to travel hundreds of miles over and over again to lead others to freedom. It is important to understand the significance of her journey because she fought at all costs to become free and unselfishly fought for the freedom of other slaves. We should all be inspired by Harriet to reach back and help others. I will be dancing to Stand Up by Cynthia Earle.
I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I
I've been called a walking history book. You may not know my story at first look. Great-great-granddaughter of a slave, the first one off the boat on a South Carolina plantation, restricted of the right to vote. Granddaughter of sharecroppers in a North Carolina town. With hard work and a dream, they refused to be held down. To the north they traveled, were able to buy a house. As a hairstylist and a mason, made a better life than they had in the South. Daughter of the first college graduate, the first in her family. My mother set a great example for those who followed her to see. My dad showed strength and courage, the first into great schools in his town. A U.S. Navy veteran. For that, he's made me proud. I followed my mother's footsteps, graduated with 2 degrees, became an elementary school teacher, a writer of books and poetry. I became the wife of a Jamaican American, the product of his parents' success. They sent their kids to college, encouraged them to do their best. I'm a mother of 3 daughters who all work hard in school. I train them to follow God. I teach them that learning is cool. Their schools show Dr. King's dream with students of every color. Different races and backgrounds are learning with each other. Have you learned your family's history? The people that paved the way? The sacrifices that were made? What shaped who you are today? Whatever your story may be, I encourage you to tell it boldly so that others may truly appreciate their right to be free.
All I said, wow. Wow. Give her another hand. Amen. I'd like to share with us the last day of the month that they gave us, but every day is our day. I remember when James Brown said, what, say it loud? Come on, y'all, let's do that. Say it loud. All right, that's James Brown. So, I'd like to share just a few minutes about determination. Never be limited by other people's limited imaginations. Refuse to accept the views that mankind is so tragically bound that the starless midnights of racism and war, that the bright daybreak of peace and brotherhood can never become a reality. I believe that unarmed truth and reality, I believe that unarmed truth and unconsciousness, love will have the final say in our lives. The cost of liberty is less than the price of repression. In recognizing the humanity of our fellow beings, we pay ourselves the highest tribute. Hate is too great of a burden to bear. It injures the hater more than it injures the hated. Whatever we believe about ourselves and our ability to come will come true. Defining myself as opposed to being defined by others is one of the most difficult challenges we face. One day, our descendants will think it incredible that we paid so much more attention to things as amount to our color and our skin, the shape of our eyes and the gender, instead of the unique inadequacies that others place upon us. My humanity is bound up in yours, for we can only be human together. Hold fast to your dreams, for if dreams die, life is like a broken winged bird that cannot fly. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. The time is always right to do what is right. have a vision, we must be demanding. Freedom is never given. Freedom is won. Success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed. We all have dreams, and in order to make dreams come into reality, it takes an awful lot of determination. And from our ancestors until now, we are determined to be a free people. Free people come from dedication, self-discipline, and much effort. So I say to one and I say to all this day, be determined, be dedicated, and be disciplined, and we shall overcome.
Peace.
Peace.
In the name of the one God, to whom all holy and righteous praise is due. Like I said, we thank him for Moses and the Torah, Jesus and the Gospel, and Muhammad and the Quran, peace be among these worthy servants. First, I'd like to thank Mr. Anderson for having me as an honoree at the 11th annual Black History Poetry Program. 11. I think it was the first one. Man, it's hard to get black people to come together to do anything, but to come together annually every year for a worthy cause. Let's give her one more round of applause. Thank you. So I'm a spoken word poet, so I'm going to recite some original poetry for myself, and that's cool. But more importantly, I think it's important to, through all the beautiful words of poetry that we've heard, through the praise dancers, through the comedy, it's most important to remind ourselves of who we are and to gain a thorough knowledge of self and commit the rest of the year, even though today's the last day of Black History Month. But Black History this year is 366 days because we are culture and we are history. So we can unite for ourselves and take what we want. Now, through Jim Crow, through 400 years of transatlantic slavery, through sharecropping, we're still here, and it's by Allah, God's grace that we're here. Because we are people that were meant to be destroyed. So when I see yourself, I see a reflection of me, and I see the God within you. So I want to thank you guys for having me and witnessing what I'm about to share with you.
Can y'all hear me without a microphone or microphone? Okay.
You can search the earth and won't find a mind this wise, no birth record. My nature creator, causing the planets to revolve. Tell me, what's a chain, money, and cars to a man that's older than the sun, moon, and stars? These are poetic bars. It's a testament of scripture. This is the perfect painted picture. 7.5. It's what the mind of God gets you. My brain contains all the created data. It ain't hard to spot the alpha in a world marked by beta. Original people assaulted in combat. White supremacy, the choice of attack. From a white crucified Christ to make America great again, caps. It's all facts. They fear a planet shaded black. Call us names, keep us divided. Oppress and faded black. Call us names, keep us divided. Suppress and faded black. Can't be for self feeling jaded, saving for table scraps. What happened to change starting with the man in the mirror? Yeah, we all want the promise, but they won't see clearer. HD couldn't help them see clearer. I mean, damn, bro. The world's watching me die, right there on camera. My skin's black, they fearing me. Pieces of a man, I feel like Gil Scott, but they ain't hearing me. Eardrums back. Police act up, they act tough. Let's see if they got heart. I bet they slide before they swing on me. That's a day in the park. Call the chief. I leave him puzzled by the sight of a piece. Now I'm pissed, ball in my fist. It's a mess. No matter how hard you outwork them, they still hand you less. I digress. I can see the powers that be wanna call in Kaepernick till we take a knee. It's a new gang in town. Fox got news for us. It's going around our neck. They like it better when we hang around. No cotton left to pick. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Or what you expect?
How you gonna protect your neck when they inspect the deck, but they don't find the gadgets? They assume we ratchet, Negroes with ratchets. They start blasting, case classic, cold coffin, closed casket, drop a drag drastic, recycling black life like it's plastic. Never made water for wine. Some made angels from angel dust. Born black and they label us dangerous, but that's strange to us, cuz these are the same money lovers that endangered us. Hung us from trees, strangled us, stepped on our square, wrapped and tangled us. That circle of life, serving you right. They hate the sight of a shining black diamond. They rather see us flatlining. Shoot first, assume we strap with iron. I cringe from the sound of sirens. We're divided, it seems. They devised a scheme. Be all you can be, believe in an American dream, but it ain't quite fair. Never been one fight fair. My people only lived in American nightmare. Oh, but there's more trouble. Shit, I been war ready for the rumble. Sam still think he my uncle. Hung us from trees, I guess that means I'm the coolest monkey in the jungle. Peace and love.
Let me hold you tight, if only for one night. Let me keep you near to ease away your fear. It would be so nice if only for one night. If you wanna be totally discreet, I'll be at your side, if only for one night. If only for one night. Your eyes say things I never hear from you, and my knees are shaking too. But I'm willing to go through. I must be crazy standing in its flame, but I'm feeling no for asking. Let me hold you tight, if only for one night. Let me keep you near to ease away your fear. It would be so nice for one night. That's all I need. One night, oh, that's all I needed. One night of your love, of your love, of your love. And I'm asking, let me take you home, to keep you safe and warm, till the early dawn warms up to the sun. It would be so nice if only for one night.
Began to build up to the point where I couldn't take it anymore, so I told my siblings, I said, you know what? If I stay here, we're not going to make it. I'm going to have to leave, but when I leave, I'm going to come back and I'm going to get you because I'm going to find a better place. And I kept my promise to them. as I pursued, even at 15 years old, the furtherings of my education. I went to stay with a classmate. I did finish my high school, graduated. I did eventually move to Connecticut from Brooklyn and wind up going to be a nurse. I had 3 children, wind up going back to school to see what I can do for the youth, and got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. And I sat on the juvenile review board so I could give them a second chance. And so there is, on the other spectrum, still a way out, but if you want to. I have been a writer for all my life because that was the only way I can release what was inside of me. I had no friends. I pretty much walked around in a world where seemingly no one knew who I was, and I didn't know who else was in the world to go to. And so I started writing, and my first book that I wrote, believe it or not, was a book of Revelation, because I had gotten into the Lord and became a minister of the gospel, and he had to remind me over and over again that, Linda, I couldn't use you until you release the unforgiveness of your parents. And that was the hardest thing to do, because I think I felt at that time I had a right to feel the way I felt. But God said, no, you don't. And that was the very thing that was going to separate me from the God that I served. And so I had to learn how to forgive. And when I wrote In Too Deep, which is the tragic story of a runaway teenager in Brooklyn, New York, myself, my introduction said, unforgiveness, one word, sounds simple enough, but it's the action of that one word that holds the key to unlock your destiny. It is the action of this one word that causes chemical imbalances in your body that leads to serious illnesses. It is the action of this one word that led many to premature death. To forgive someone is to release yourself. Unforgiveness will cause you to become incarcerated in your mind because of the things you have held in your heart as you held them hostage. Unforgiveness will cause you to become incarcerated in your mind because of the things your heart has held hostage. What does it take to happen in your life to cause you to reach that point when all that you have done or gone through, nothing is worth you turning back? No trial has ever been so great, and no test has ever been so challenging that would afford you to give up the journey that you left behind. Who is it that you allowed to be locked up in your mental prison and refuse to give the key of forgiveness to set both of you free? More than enough, giving up presents itself as an option, but it took just one encounter to change the very course of the road I once traveled. I had finally reached that point in my life that giving up was not an option, and turning back would never be considered. Not only was forgiveness necessary, but my very life depended on it. I realized that because of who I know and what I know as a believer, if I was ever going to consider turning back, it's too late now because I'm in too deep. That's the title of my book. Spending most of your time overcoming the hurt of an unspoken lie. You try not to worry, but it's easier said than done, using all your internal energy and everything under the sun. This is life. This life is but a race, not about how much you have or spend, and the race is not given to the swift, but to one who endures to the end. There is a lesson to be learned out of every trial and test, but you better be prepared to give up your absolute best. Anything gained in life is given with a price. There's a lot of challenges, but winning has always been nice. You find if there is no pain, there's usually not anything to gain. But the important lesson to learn is how to keep going insane. I know what prayer can do. I lay awake at night with troubles of fear on my mind. A job was something valuable but very hard to find. Quickly sinking into debt with no means of escape. No bank account, no extra cash. Boy, I'm in bad shape. My family couldn't even help me, even if they wanted to. They were barely making it themselves, so very little they can do. The little money I did get could barely pay the rent. If help don't come soon, I'll have to pitch a tent. The food is getting very low. I hope I'll find something tomorrow. I'm sick and tired of laying here drowning in my sorrow. I remember the conversation I had with a friend just the other day. She kept saying now is the perfect time to get on my knees and pray. Thinking about what she said was nothing more I could take. I cried out, Lord, Lord, forgive me for goodness sake. As I stayed on my knees, I cried myself to sleep. When I awakened, I had such peace from a prayer that was felt so deep. And the last one, is this what life is all about? This is the first poem I wrote. Life is full of joy and pain, promises of making them either go insane. We can choose to sit idle as we watch time go by, or we can get caught up in this race of do and die. Life is what you make it, or that's what one would say. But do we have the powers to change our destiny? Opportunity still comes to those who are wise enough to grasp it. But what happens to the one who's always seeking but always passive? Are we traveling in a world seeming to go from place to place, or are we really somewhat lost in space? We must believe in someone other than ourselves. Perhaps could there be a creator that created my internal selves? Is life that really short that we can't find time for a quick lunch? Or are we killing ourselves with a 24-hour brunch? Our children are coming and going before we can say goodbye. Was this in the plan of life to live and to die? I guess there is a time for everything under the sun, but does that time include all the bodies being lowered by the gun? I really need to know, and without a shadow of a doubt, is this a mere sample, or is this what life is all about? Glory to God. Glory to God.
So a lot of you did not put your name on your papers. I don't know if that was for shame, embarrassment, or what. But you know, when you neglect to put your paper in or sign up for something, you never know if you're going to be the only one. You could win, but because you know,
a new car.
A new car, yeah. So the good thing is I have 10 prizes, and no matter what your score was, the first 10 with the highest score is getting something. So, but the only thing is I don't know who a lot of the people are because again, I don't have any names. So the highest person,
that's me,
score was 65. I don't know who this person is.
It's me.
I have no idea. Then we have somebody with a 40 and 2 30s, and all the rest of them go down after that, okay? But I'm going to give you the answer so you'll know them, and then see me afterwards so you can come get your prize, because I don't know
who you are.
Who. I know some of the people, but like Alonzo X, Tavon Martin, Sandra Jenkins, don't know. Oh yes I do. Ernestine Satellite. Natasha Matambo. I don't know who that is. Carla Wallace, Victoria Wallace. Sajeria. And I don't know who the other person is. Okay? So I'm going to give you the answers now so at least you'll have them. Knowledge is power. And I'm not going to say I knew all the answers to these questions either, but I thought there were good things to know. Because we know about Martin Luther King, we know about Harriet Tubman, we know about Booker T. Washington. Those people we learned, we know about, but there's other people who played a significant role in our black culture. So I just figured I'd pull some of those people out. So number one is, I am an inventor. Some of my inventions help satellites fly to other planets in our solar system. I am best known for inventing the Super Soaker squirt gun. Lonnie Johnson. I wrote plays, articles, and essays about what life was for blacks in America. I was the first black woman to have a play performed on Broadway in New York City. My most famous play is called A Raisin in the Sun. Lorraine Hansberry. I went to college at age 16 and became an engineer and a doctor. I joined the NASA space program in 1987 to be an astronaut. In 1992, I was the first African American woman to fly in outer space. Dr. Mae Jameson. I was an inventor. My inventions helped electric powered trains run better and more safely. I was called the Black Edison, after the famous inventor Thomas Edison. Granville T. Woods. I was one of the first people to study black history. In 1926, I started a celebration called Negro History Week that later became Black History Month. I am known as the father of black history. Dr. Carter G. Woodson. In 1964, African American college students staged a sit-in to help integrate this store's lunch counter. Woolworths. Who was the American singer, actress, and civil rights leader who got her start singing in a Cotton Club in New York City at the age of 16?
Lena Horne.
Lena Horne.
I should have knew that one.
Let's see. Oh, who said, if not us, then who? If not now, then when?
You.
John Lewis. Sarah Good was the first African American woman to receive a patent. What did she invent?
Hot cold.
Folding bed. Everyone loves the Obamas, but does anyone know where they met? Worked together in a law firm. I'm not really sure which bonus questions were done, but I'm going to give you these. What was the name of the movie that was based on Michelle and Barack? Southside. Like most heavyweight champions, Joe Louis has a nickname that describes his fearless attitude in the ring. What is this famous nickname he is known by? The Brown Bomber. Okay, I was a lawyer for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP. As a lawyer in the NAACP, I won many legal cases for civil rights. In 1967, I became the first African American named to the U.S. Supreme Court. Thurgood Marshall. All right, so I don't know what other one she may have done. Huh? I went on many trips? I am a scientist who studies and writes about the stars. I have appeared on many TV times to talk about science and the universe. I have been the director of the Hayden Planetarium in New York City since 1996. Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's the last one you did? Okay. So, I hope you learned a little something, something. I hope you can retain that little something, something that you learned. And try to add more to it as you go along in life. Because there are so many achievements that we have done that have been swept under the rug, as I would say, because we don't know about it. So we need to bring it out. We need to bring it out. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it. It's my thrill and my pleasure to present this program yearly. I just like to see people who have talents and their abilities shine. And I like for the young people, young children like Isabella, to be able to shine and make their way through life, because that's a very good thing. And Isabella, whatever you're doing, let me know and I will follow you. Okay, I'll be your follower. Not on Facebook, because I'm not on Facebook, but you text me, tell your mother to text me, email me, I'll follow you, okay? And this is their opportunity to take away some of the shyness, or to come up and find that boldness in them to present themselves. Because everyone has a gift. It's just being able to tap into that gift. So that's my reason for doing it, is to give them a platform that they will come out, someone will see them, then they will go further doing whatever it is that they do. And then they will be encouraged in doing it. Because we don't get enough encouragement to keep us going. Too many people want to see us down. So that's my reason. I enjoy it and I praise and thank God for allowing me to do it. Thank everybody, my helpers, my sister, my niece, my daughter was out in the hallway. Thank Sheila, I thank David, I thank Patrick, I thank the line dancer, and everybody else who participated tonight. I thank you. That when I called upon you, you said yes. So I thank you very much. To Isabella's family, mother and father, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. We're gonna, one last thing. I do have another event coming up. It is the Mother-Daughter Gospel Concert. It's in May. It's on May 16th. It's at the Sheridan,
I'll tell you right now. Hold on. I'll tell you right now.
Courtyard area in Shelton. That's where it is, May 16th. And I will be in contact with all of you to see if you want to come. It's a good time had. I just want to let you know, if you thought this was good, when you're into the gospel and you're into someone really singing, I want to say singing, it's a good thing. So it's a good high-spirited event. So we're going to close out with a song, so if everybody can stand up. And we're going to close out with this song. And I'm sorry, there are some people who didn't get to come up a second time. I do apologize. We just ran out of time. And before they say get out, we want to make ourselves go out peacefully, okay?